Hey everybody, Jeff Muller with thejurd.com here. I know it's been a while, I know. And today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about San Diego Comic-Con. Next week I head back to sunny San Diego to hang out with 150,000 of my closest nerd friends to celebrate all the geeky things we hold near and dear to our hearts. And it's that rather ginormous number that has us talking about San Diego Comic-Con instead of fitness this time around. Since thejurd.com was forged in the fires of Comic-Con, I wanted to take a minute and explain to people who maybe aren't familiar with the process what it really takes to get tickets, hotels, exclusives, your schedule online, autographs, all that other stuff that's included in what I refer to as the 5 bestest days of the year. I say this because a lot of people have no idea what the process really is. No other convention on the planet comes close to being this immense or expansive. Nothing prepares you for the chaos that's about to ensue. So I want to take a minute and drop a little knowledge on you. First off, tickets are basically epic loot drops. If you want to go to Comic-Con, you need to understand that above all else. You don't just wake up one day and say, hey, I think I want to go to Comic-Con this year. It doesn't work that way. But every single June I get approached by probably 7-8 people that ask me that very same question. Hey, how can I go to Comic-Con this year when it's about a month away? First, you need to register for a member ID on Comic-Con's website before tickets even go on sale. Then you need to pay really close attention to your emails sometime around March. You're going to get an email with instructions on how to go about buying your tickets about a week before they go on sale. You never really know exactly when it's going to be, and they don't give you much notice. You just have to stay on top of things and definitely don't go on any vacations. Now there are two sales. There's pre-registration and there's open registration. Pre-registration is for those that went the previous year, and open registration is a giant goddamn free-for-all. So here's how the math works out. Once you take out all the professional passes, press passes, volunteer passes, exhibitor passes, whatever else passes, you have about 110,000 tickets left. So pre-reg is open to all those 110,000 people each year, and they sell approximately about 55,000 tickets during the pre-registration. So that gives you about a 50% chance of getting in. That's not that bad. Now open registration, on the other hand, sells the remaining 55,000 tickets to about 900,000 people that assault that ticket portal like a Viking horde the moment they go on sale. That gives you about a 6.11% chance of getting a ticket. I'm going to let that sink in for a second. Now, they're constantly changing and tweaking the rules and the systems to get in, but generally speaking, it involves logging into the portal about 2 hours before tickets go on sale, and then sacrificing a goat to the ticket gods so that your internet connection isn't being too flaky, your computer doesn't crash, your browser isn't mysteriously incompatible with the current portal, you don't lose power, you don't lose internet connectivity. The portal doesn't just kick you out mid-purchase. There isn't a problem with your member ID. There's not a problem with your credit card. That you don't submit your ticket request and then have it not show up in their system. Oh, and the fact that you need to beat out all the other people vying for those tickets. But assuming you make it through all of that, you're good, right? You silly bastard. Not even close. The second thing to remember is experiencing Comic-Con like a homeless person sucks. See, there's around only 15,000 hotels in downtown San Diego. So this leaves you with 3 options. You can either try to book a hotel about a year in advance at a super high rate. Do what a lot of people do is book a condo or an apartment through something like Airbnb. This usually works better if you're going with a large group of people, but again, you got to do it way in advance, or participate in the hotel lottery. So the hotel lottery happens in April, and this is where the people that manage to get tickets now get to vie for the hotel rooms that were set aside in blocks for the convention. Again, you get to sit in front of your computer at the portal, waiting like a sprinter at the start line to immediately try and grab these hotels the moment they go on sale. You get 6 preferences, and depending on how fast you are filling out the form and submitting it, you may or may not get one of the hotels you're looking for. Last year, I think all the hotels within walking distance of the convention center sold out in under 90 seconds. Yeah. Then you wait for the almighty confirmation email to arrive to tell you whether or not you're going to be sleeping on a park bench for the entirety of the convention. This is an ultra stressful time because either you book a hotel room super early, not knowing if you're actually going to get tickets to the convention, and oh, by the way, anytime you try and book a hotel room in San Diego during this week, it's always non-refundable. Or you wait for the hotel lottery after you know you have tickets and then cross your fingers that you actually find a place to stay. It is a crappy system. And if you don't get a hotel, all hope isn't lost, but you might have to stay way out and then rent a car to drive in every day, and then you got to worry about the parking lottery. Don't even get me started on that. Or you could take public transportation, which isn't necessarily bad, but it adds a lot of time to your day. Once you make it through all those hurdles, you can finally book your airfare, and then you're ready for some fun. Whew. Oh yeah, but something else you need to understand is Comic-Con is crazy. The key to getting most out of the event is planning. Once the schedule, the off-site events, all the juicy exclusives and everything are announced, then you want to take a couple hours looking at the schedule on the online app and kind of figuring out what you want to do and filling in your calendar. Then you need to realize that most of the stuff you want to do overlaps with other stuff you want to do, and then you need to trim out all the things that you want to do but can't do. Once you've done that, then you also need to think about things that happen back to back that usually are going to be on one end of the convention hall or the other, which means you're either going to be late to one or have to leave another one early. You then need to account for getting from locale to locale if things you want to do aren't right in the convention center, which happens a lot. Then you need to factor in meals, breaks, and spending quality time on the con floor, just looking around at all the great stuff there is to see. And remember to factor in time for the off-site events too. Last year, I think I spent over 6 hours waiting in line to get into the HBO Game of Thrones experience. And finally, if you're there to do any sort of shopping, you have to factor in crazy time for standing in lines trying to score those exclusives that you want. Look, what I'm trying to tell you is there is no way possible you're even going to see a tenth of the stuff you want to. You just have to accept it and pick the things you want most. That footage right there, that's me last year, starting in the middle of the convention center and going down one aisle. I'm telling you, getting around the convention hall is crazy. It can take up to a half an hour just to get from one side to the other. Okay, and now it's time for the real PSA. I feel the need to explain this because every year someone asks me to get them an exclusive. Whether it's something as simple as a cool little Lego minifig or something as crazy and extravagant as a life-size My Little Pony Transformer that shoots holographic rainbows out of its anus. I want to get all the things for all the people. I really, really do. And I always feel like a jackal when I come home from the convention empty-handed. Because I know you think it's an innocuous request and you say, hey, can you pick me this thing up? But it's not. So here's the deal. The convention center opens at 9:30 in the morning and people that want exclusives line up much, much earlier. Like 7:30, 8 a.m. early. Then it's a mad dash as soon as they get into the booth they're trying to get to, because really you only get a shot at one exclusive per day due to time constraints. It's kind of like Black Friday meets Braveheart. So most booths give out tickets to their retail shop. So what you end up doing is fighting thousands of people for a shot to get a raffle ticket to stand in line at the retail shop. Once you have it, you make it over to the retail store, which isn't open yet, and you stand in line, usually for hours waiting for it to open. Once you make it through all that process and you get into the store, you have to hope that they still have what you wanted, because what they do is they set aside a limited amount per day to sell. So very often they sell out long before you even get into the retail shop. But you won't know until you've stood in line that entire time. Now that doesn't mean all hope is lost if they don't have it, because the next day you can go to the doors at 8 a.m., 7 a.m., what have you, stand in line, make the mad dash down to the retail station, get your raffle ticket, head over to the retail shop, stand in line, and do it again if you want. So look, getting a popular exclusive is really a half a day investment, at least. So think on that. After all the work and stress that goes into getting a ticket, after the crazy amount of things you need to do to prioritize, after all the money spent getting there and then on a severely overpriced room, you're asking that person to give up half of a day for a chance at one exclusive for you. And I usually get 3 to 5 requests every year. I'm not faulting the people asking. All I'm saying is, think about it, guys. If someone doesn't get you an exclusive, it's not because they're being inconsiderate. It's not because they forgot about you. I promise. I know I truly want to get you whatever the new Hasbro hot ticket is, And I'm sure the person that you're asking wants to get it for you too. But unless that person is an exclusive hunter whose sole purpose of being at the convention is going and buying cool toys, you're asking a lot. So please don't take this as a discouragement. All I want you to do is understand what a huge undertaking it is for those of us that love that convention so much to actually be able to attend. And that's the facts, Jack. So Comic-Con goers, if you have friends that are asking you for exclusives, go ahead and link them to this video. That way I can be the bad guy and not you. Also, if you're gonna be there, make sure you track me down. You can find me at the Game of Bloggers party Wednesday night, the Geeks Going Glam party Thursday night. I will be at the Walking Dead Escape on Friday. I will be all over the con. Track me down, talk to me. I'd love to meet you. Hope everyone has a great weekend, and I'll see you at Comic-Con.